So we are logged in as Patty Fernandez. Patty is a member of the HR group. This group is responsible for initiating and managing appraisals. They are responsible for adding assessors and other HR members into the system. Let's confirm that Patty is a member of the HR group. Assessors are individuals who do the actual assessment. For them to be able to evaluate their team members, HR must add these people to the list of assessors. Let's add some assessors to the system. We'll select the Assessors menu option from the Admin menu. We currently do not have any assessor in the system. To add, we will click the New button. We then search for an assessor and click Save. Let's log in as Alex. We are logged in as Alex here, who is an assessor. As an assessor, we need to add the team members we will be evaluating their performance. To do that, we will go to Assessors and select My Team. From here, we click New. We will search for the team member. All team members must be in a category. The benefit of this is that we may evaluate or analyze performance on various objectives according to the category they fall under. Let's add another team member. All appraisals start with a template. A template is a blueprint that contains the fundamental values to which an organization wants to assess each employee. We can access the template list from Admin menu, then Templates. Let's go over the steps required to create a template. We will give the template a title. This will be the same title for our appraisal. The title must be unique among the templates you have in your system. Here we select the template type. You can create two types of appraisals in SPPAS. Performance review. This is the typical performance review which conducted monthly, semi-annually, or annually depending on the organization. Promotion probation review. This is done specifically to review the performance of a single employee. In this demonstration, we'll look at performance reviews. We then select the category. Give it a description. When HR is required to remark on the appraisal, it signifies that HR will participate in the appraisal process. A HR member will be required to add a comment to the review before the review process ends. Once you activate it, HR comment due field appears. We will uncheck it since we do not want a member of HR to comment on this appraisal. The start date is the date on which assessors will have access to this template so they can begin evaluating the performance of the team members. Assessment due is the deadline for assessors to finish their assessment. It can't be earlier than the start date. Assessee comments due is the deadline by which the person being evaluated or assessed must provide a comment regarding their assessor's evaluation. The assessor has the chance to comment on the review once team members have added their input. This is crucial in situations where team members disagree with the assessor's evaluation. Here, we choose the deadline by which the assessors are expected to give their comments. In cases where a senior manager must be part of the appraisal process, they must add their comment before the date we select for manager comments due field. We can now save it. After saving, a new panel titled Core Objectives appears. Here, we define our core principles and objectives. The goals that an organization sees as essential to achieving its mission are called core values. We give a title here. Then a description. All core value objectives have a priority of 3. It cannot be changed. Every objective can be graded as exceed expectations, met expectations, and require improvement. We must define what constitutes these grades to serve as a guide to both assessors and assessees. We then click the Save button to save it. We recommend that you have at least 5 core values to be assessed. Assessors can start rating their team member once the appraisal start date is reached. From the Assessors menu, we select Team Appraisals. We then click on the New button and choose the template we want to use for assessment. From this template, assessors must create their own template. Select New Template. Let's give it a title and a description. We can see our template has inherited the core values from the Objectives tab. We cannot modify these core objectives, but can add key business objectives. To add a new objective, we'll click the New button. Give it a title. Our objectives must be categorized. Since we do not have any group yet, we will create one. We will add a description. We can choose a priority of 1, 2, or 3. Remember, priority is not a rating, but just show the level of importance for the stated objectives. Every objective can be graded as exceed expectations, met expectations, or require improvement. We must define what constitutes these grades so all parties understand that score entails. We did add a lot more objectives, and they can belong to a lot of different categories we define. Everything depends on how an organization sets up its evaluation standards. We can then create appraisals for our teams. We can choose to utilize this template for a certain team category we specified, for all categories, or for a particular team member. If we are not quite ready, we can always go back to it and use this template to assess our team members. Refreshing the page will allow us to see the created appraisals. After a team member's appraisal has been generated, goals are created for each key business objective. Team members can utilize this to inform assessors of their progress toward the objective. When assessors are ready to evaluate a team member, they must assign a score to each objective. Assessors can view the associate goal to see what each team member has accomplished for that key business areas. We then click the Score button. SPPS will calculate the core value scores and overall score. Any manager who ought to be involved in this process can be added. Finally, click the Mark this review as Done button. A task will be created for the team member. From the Task menu, they can see all pending tasks. The team member can remark on the task and attach any documents they choose. A task will be created for the assessor. The assessor now has a chance to review the team member's comments and give their own general observations. Since we did not pick any major, the review process comes to an end. From the HR view, we can see all appraisals and their statuses. HR staff members can start a performance improvement plan when an employee receives an IR score. The deadline for this PIP process must be stated. We have the ability to alter who evaluates this PIP. We can add targets that need to be met from the Performance Targets tab. Assessors can view all PIPs by selecting Team PIPs from the Assessors menu. More performance targets may be added. In order for assessors and assessees to record any interactions they have, SPPAS offers a commenting mechanism. Members of HR can participate in this process by contributing their comments. When the PIP process is done, assessors must close it. They must indicate if the assessee passed the PIP.